Hey for lifers, it's your girl Tiana here. If you are new to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me to become a part of the family here.
For all time's sake.
So in today's video, we are doing a get ready with me because I want to put some makeup on to make sure that I still know how to do makeup, because y'all know, like, I have not been wearing makeup for a long while now. Like, I've just been going makeupless for most of my days. Sometimes on the weekends here and there, if I'm going out or whatever, I'll put a face on, but really that's only been like 3 times since the beginning of January. So we're just gonna do my natural B everyday look today to get it back together. And do y'all like my hair? Do y'all like my hair? I did this style a couple times in the summer and I just liked it. I really liked it. So we had to bring it back today. The topic for today's chit chat get ready with me is going to be a social emotional learning activity that we did at work. You'll get the backstory in just a minute, but it's a social emotional learning activity that we did at work, but I feel like it can be transferred into everybody's life, not just the educational field. And it's basically about like time management, self-care, and things like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the activity as much as I did. I obviously enjoyed it because I would not have brought it to my YouTube channel if not, and I think it'll be beneficial for everybody. So go ahead and get you a piece of paper, girl, so that you can do this activity as I go through it. And if I don't remember if I said it, but if I did not say it, I'm not taking credit for any of this because this is not my own ideas. It's just something that I experienced and I feel like it'll work in many different people's lives. So I'm gonna stop talking right there because I know I'm gonna explain as I'm doing my makeup, and let's just get right into it. If y'all hear a lot of extra noise in the background, I'm so sorry. I'm washing clothes and drying clothes, and it can be a little noisy. I don't want to put a primer spray on, because like an oil control spray, because I'm not like going out or doing anything crazy today. I'm gonna give you a little bit of background first. So this activity, I cannot take credit for what we're gonna talk about today, because simply I did not create it. As a teacher, we have like planning days and things like that. And mostly right after we come back from a break or whatever the case may be, or just like a digital learning day or whatever the case may be. So this most previous digital learning day, we had during our staff meeting, it was an SEL based meeting. So basically what SEL stands for is social emotional learning, and I feel like that's like a hot topic right now, not even in just the education world. Like even when I'm in the gym watching the news on the treadmill, like while I'm running and whatever, they've been talking about like teaching lately and how the kids are, battling with different states and the mask requirements and in-person versus digital learning. That's been a big thing, obviously, still. And a lot of the reason why people are wanting to not go digital, or in counties and mayors and governors are against going digital, is because of the social aspect and the detriment that has caused for kids. So social emotional learning has been a really hot topic in the education world lately, and definitely in everyday life. It's an important thing that everybody is aware of, and so basically that's what our meeting was about for that day, that portion of the day. They had an activity for us, the 2 people at my school that are in charge of it, they had an activity for us that they basically got from their big meeting. So I am not taking credit for any of the things that we talk about today. As I was sitting there doing, like in the meeting and doing, the activity, I was like, wow, this is really something that everybody can benefit from. Take a minute to kind of reflect and the questions they were asking and whatever. So that is the focus for today and the inspiration behind the video. And I just wanted to say shout out to the people at my school that are in charge of the SEL portion of our day, or the SEL segment at our school, and the people, shout out to the SEL people at the county building, county level that put this program together, because it's definitely useful in more aspects than just the classroom. So how we're gonna approach this today is basically I'm just going to explain to you guys like what our day was like and what the person in charge, we'll call her the instructor, what she is one of my peers, like she works in the school, whatever, we'll call her the instructor because she's in charge. I'm just gonna kind of like explain it to you guys as she did to us, and I'll be sharing my responses and kind of talking about the importance of that topic. And please feel free to, you know, grab a piece of paper or, you know, use your phone, your notes in your phone as you're watching to kind of do this with me if you feel like it will benefit you as well. The first thing she told us to do was to draw a circle on a piece of paper and then split it into 4 quadrants. Basically like a pizza cut into 4 circles. She said in each quadrant she's going to ask us questions, and we are just going to write our responses in that quadrant. The first question she asked us for the first quadrant was to basically write down if we think we manage our time well, and basically yes or no, like yes, I manage my time well, or no. So for me, my response was that I managed my time much better than I did before, or much better than I have in the past. Like my time management and my personal organization, and just like even organization of my day, like when I'm in the classroom for sure, and even in my daily life, like what I'm gonna do on what days, at what time, you know, wake up at this time, make sure that I get this, this, and this done, has definitely gotten much better over really the last like maybe month and a half, 2 months or so. I really improved and found ways to make everything fit into my day that I want to. It's really important to me that I'm getting everything done that I want to in the day, and not in like overdoing it way, like, oh, I've got so much to do and make sure I get all of it done and draining myself. Just kind of, you know, before the weekend comes, planning, okay, this is what I want to do on the weekend, this is how I'm going to attack it each day so it all gets done. Or before the work week or the weekdays hit, I do the same thing. Okay, this is what I want to accomplish this week before next weekend. You know, on these days, what is my plan to making sure that all of these things get done? I manage my time much better than I did before, and I don't think that it's going down. I think it's for sure getting better for me personally. The next question that she asked us was, do you care for yourself? And basically this first quadrant, we're still in the first quadrant, these were a lot of yes or no questions, but I just wrote a longer response just so that I could kind of remember what the questions were, because we didn't have the questions on the screen or anything, or we just had to answer based off of her words. Do you do things to show that you care about yourself? And I put yes, I definitely do care for myself, and I put a smiley face because, I mean, you guys have seen it. I feel like I do things on the daily that I consider to be self-care for me. And if you watch my self-care Sunday video, then you'll see, like, and she said this too, things that you consider to be your self-care may be different from somebody else's, and that is okay. As long as you feel cared for, you feel like you're appreciating yourself and giving yourself the credit where credit is due for yourself, and not really waiting to get that validation from other people, then you're caring for yourself. So I put yes, I do. So that was the second question, still in the first quadrant. Okay, so the next question that she asked us was, do we feel like we are effective or efficient in the actions, in the above actions? So basically what she asked us before, like, are we managing our time effectively and efficiently to get things done, and is our self-care effective and efficient and cohesive with our, you know, daily life? And I said that I feel like my self-care, my time management is most definitely effective and efficient. Like I said, you guys are proof to that. I'm able to get things done in my time frame and, you know, how I want to get them done. So I believe wholeheartedly that I am effective and efficiently managing my time and caring for myself. The next thing that she asked us, and now we're moving into the bottom left quadrant. So that was the top right quadrant. Now we're moving into the bottom left quadrant. And she asked us, what can we do better to manage our time. She kind of explained that, you know, she just said to us, you know, she feels like many of us know that we can manage our time better. So what are those things that we can do better to manage our time? And for me, I kind of struggled with that question and hesitated to answer, or, you know, write my answer down, because I feel like I already had that growth experience of what do I need to do to better manage my time. So right now I'm kind of living in that. What could I do better? I'm already doing those things. So I just put that I think I manage my time very well already, and I don't really know what else I could do to better manage my time. Like, I'm not ending days like, oh, I wish I would have gotten this done, or whatever the case may be. But I think for most people, what could be the fix, and this might be the fix for you as well, is getting a planner, getting an agenda, getting some type of scheduling device. What are you going to do to keep track of your, you know, daily must-dos? It's a good idea to kind of make a T-chart of things that we must do in a certain time frame, whether it's things you want to get done in the day or things that you must do this weekend, and then things that you may do. So things that, like, okay, if I finish all my must-dos, what can I do now? Or may-dos are things like, I really want to get this done, but I know that all my must-dos have my priorities for the week, weekend, weekday, whatever your time frame is, you know, month, whatever the case may be. These are things I want to do, but they're not really a priority, because then you can see, like, okay, it will take me X, Y, and Z amount of time to complete my must-dos. Then how can I schedule in my may-dos to also fill into my schedule? You know what I'm saying? Like, so just really analyzing and looking at your daily movements, I feel, can kind of help you manage your time. You know, people sometimes like to just wake up and say, oh, I'm gonna get all of this done today, and then they don't have any plan of action. So, you know, one thing also could be getting up earlier. You know, I know a lot of people are not really morning people, and I feel like in this age of, or this time of everybody, majority of people, a lot of people still working from home, it can be very easy to not want to get up early, or not feel a reason to have to really rise early, because you know that you can start working at a certain time and you don't need to be up super early. But getting up early, for me at least, I'm not gonna speak on getting up early in general, I just feel like for me personally, getting up early and getting a head start on my day really just sets me up to have a better day. Like, getting up early on my weekdays and going to the gym, getting up at 4:30 and ready to be at the gym at 5 o'clock, sometimes 5:05 if I'm running a little late. Doing that helps me have a good day. And that goes back to self-care. That's things that, you know, going to the gym are things that I want to do for me. And I knew from experience, managing my time, I knew from experience that me going to the gym after work just wasn't happening as often as I wanted to, simply because I'd be tired, y'all. Trying to fit in a workout after work as a teacher, I don't know about any other profession, but as a teacher, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And it just wasn't working for me, like the amount of tired that I was. And also after a full day of eating, you know, breakfast and lunch, I just feel heavy and I don't really have any motivation at that point to work out. And I've always been more of a morning workout person anyway, so it just works for me to go in the morning. But, you know, getting up early is another way that we as people can manage our time, you know? Even on the weekends. Naturally, I just wake up early on the weekends because I wake up early on the weekdays, so it's not like I don't really typically set an alarm on the weekend. You'll form a routine, and that's what I like. I like routines. I like knowing what time I'm doing what day I'm doing what. I like routines, and I think a lot of that comes from when my sister and I were younger. Like, we were so used to routines and what we're gonna do this day, where we have to be this day, practice this day. You know, we know dad comes home at this time from work. He starts dinner because mom comes home later, so we know by the time she gets home we'll already be eating. Whatever the case may be. But let's move on to the next quadrant, because that was quadrant 2, and let's get to quadrant 3, because that was the only question for quadrant 2. So the question we were asked for quadrant 3 is, which was the top right corner, was basically when you have too many tasks, or when you have a lot of things that you have to do, how do you go about, what is your reaction basically to having a lot of work to do? And that was just how she left it. So, you know, we kind of had to think about that question. You know, when we have a lot of work to do, what is it that we do? And so I had kind of two responses. So I want you guys to think about that. Before I share my response, I want you to think about that. Like, you know, if you make a list of things you want to get done, or if you're if you're working and you know you have a lot of tasks to do, how do you go about getting them done, or what is your reaction to having so much to do? I want you to think about that for a second. What do you do when you have a lot on your plate, basically? So my response was kind of both ends of the spectrum. So if I have a lot of things to do, or you know, I know that I have a good list of things I need to get done, I will write them down. I am such a pen and paper kind of person. Like, I have to write things down. One, because my memory is really poor. Like, it's really poor. Like, I try not to joke about it too much because it's like actually scaring me that at 25, almost 26 years old, I have these terrible memory problems. And y'all, I've done things to try to get my memory. Anyway, that's not the point of the video. I'll write things down, and then I'll kind of be able to see like what's most important, so I can prioritize. Kind of going back to the must do, may do T-chart list. Like, what's the most important thing that needs to get done? When is it due? When does it have to be due by? Or when does it have to be, you know, done or completed by? And that helps me out to, you know, stay organized and whatever, and kind of get a game plan going. But then also, a lot of times, if I know that I have things that I have to do and maybe I didn't write them down, or I've just been thinking about it or thinking about ways to change it, I'll honestly lose sleep. Like, I will be up because it's just running in my mind, and I do not like that for me. I don't like that I sometimes lose sleep when I'm thinking about things that have to be done, especially when I'm thinking about work. Like, I don't like losing sleep over work. I really don't. So that's also why, like, at work, I'm ahead of the game. I always have everything. My plans are done a week in advance. My copies are in a week in advance, that for the entire week. That way I'm not having to worry about, okay, it's Monday, but I know for Thursday I need these copies. So I'm not stressing about what I have to do that week. I like to get it all done the week before. So now I can just teach that week, and then I can get ready for the next week's things. But I say that because if I'm thinking about it in bed, or say it's Monday, we taught a lesson, you know, I taught a lesson on fractions, representing fractions using the area model. Okay, just because that's what we just did last week. Representing fractions using the area model. And day one, you know, I had a plan for what I was going to do, and I, you know, we executed it. And I'm thinking about, okay, day two, so Tuesday, now we're still doing area model, but we're doing it a little bit different. And now I'm kind of like, well, the kids didn't react to the lesson the way I thought they would, whether it was too easy for them or whether it was too hard. And now I feel like I need to alter my next day's plans to accommodate my class. I might think about that laying in bed. If I don't get that together before I leave work the first day, when I see that I need to make some changes, I'm going to be thinking about it all night. So I'm going to be thinking about, when I get to work tomorrow, this is what I need to do. So typically, to answer the question of what do I do, or what do you do if you have a lot on your plate, a lot of things you need to accomplish, I either make a list to prioritize and help, you know, my memory, or I lose sleep. She gave some examples, and you may be able to relate to this as well. Like, if you have a lot of things to do, a lot of times people will just shut down, and it's very easy to just want to shut down. People will just shut down and not do the work. They'll go to sleep, they'll take a nap, they'll find other things to do to fill the time to kind of avoid having to do the work. Which, if that is what you do, and then but it works for you, you're able to next day get up, get a plan going, and get it done, that's fine. You know, what works for you is what works for you. But a lot of times people will shut down, and now the work is piling up, or whatever it is that needs to get done is piling up. So now what? So now we're going to be going back to, how do we handle when we have too many things to do? What do we do to manage our time? That's just me. I don't know about you. Comment down below, because I actually do like to know, like, what is it that you do if you have a lot to do and you feel like maybe you kind of let it sit, or you kind of put it off for a little bit? What is it that you do to kind of handle that? Comment down below, because I want to know. I'm nosy. I want to know what y'all do. We have made it to the fourth and final quadrant, which I actually really like, and I think this is one that you guys can reflect on in your mind, or you can actually, you know, write it down, put it in your notes in your phone. So she said to draw a stoplight. So you've got red on top, yellow in the middle, and green on the bottom. And she said for red, jot down things that you want to stop doing, things that you need to stop doing in order to be one with yourself. Remember, this is all about social emotional learning. So connecting with your emotions and seeing, you know, how that is portrayed in the world to others and so on and so forth. So what are things you want to stop doing? Yellow is what are things that you want to continue doing. And I thought that was interesting when she said that, because I was like, if you actually think about a stoplight, most people go through the yellow light. Most people continue. Technically, yellow means yield, slow down, stop, you know, where you come into a break. But most people continue. So it was very fitting. Most people speed up and continue. So it was very fitting. So I enjoyed that one. But she said to write down things that you want to continue doing. And then the last one, the green one, is things that you want to start doing. So stop, continue, and start. For me, things that I wanted to stop doing was self-doubt. You know, I want to stop doubting myself so often, doubting my abilities, doubting my accomplishments, doubting my progress with things. There are so many things that I feel like a lot of times I doubt myself about, and I've got to stop doing that. And I know I'm not the only one. I know it's very easy to kind of, and not even like a looking down on myself way, but always second guessing. And people will tell me like, Tiana, I don't know why, you know, you don't think this, that, and the third. I don't know why you, this, blah, blah, blah. I don't know why, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, I don't have the answers for you either. Like, I know that I doubt myself on a lot of things. And I know that I don't exude that energy to people. So why am I doing it internally? You know what I'm saying? I don't put that out there for other people to see that I doubt myself sometimes. So basically, like I am a pretty confident person. I feel like I carry myself as a pretty confident person, but on the inside, y'all, I be struggling, doubting myself left and right. Not a lot of the time, not even most of the time, but enough of the time. I try not to let it affect my daily, but I know that if I get rid of that self-doubt all the way, then I really feel like I will be really truly the best version of myself. Do I think I'm the best version of myself yet? No, but do I know and fully believe that I'm making progress to get there? Absolutely. My yellow, so things that I want to continue doing is the self-care, you know, caring for myself and managing my time really well. I don't see the stopping of time management really going anywhere anytime soon, because it is something that, you know, it helps my day-to-day. Like I'm on a schedule for me, and it works. But the self-care part, it's easy to like forget, you know what I'm saying? And there's other things that I could do that I would like to do to care for myself more, and I want to do that. So I'm going to continue what I'm doing now for self-management, and then also, you know, hopefully be able to start to bring in some other things. Green, when it said things you want to start doing, y'all, I'm not even gonna lie to you, it's blank. It's still blank, and I don't know what to put there. You know, it sounds crazy because like a lot of people's responses for like how to manage their time and stuff, they if they're not managing their time well, they have something for a start. If they don't care for themselves, or, you know, do things to show they care for themselves, they have things to do or things to put for the start section, but I don't. So y'all help me out. Let me know what you think are things that I could start doing to help me on my journey of being the best version of myself, because I feel like I've made that a goal for myself at the top of the year, and I've really been pouring into that and doing what I need to just continue and reach my goals. So it's kind of hard when I feel like I'm doing everything that I can, everything I said. I know there's always something else that can be done. So maybe you guys can help me out in that department. Okay, y'all, I am done getting dressed. Well, I was always dressed. I'm done with my makeup, and I'm so glad that it looks good. I'm so glad that I remembered how to do a full face. I mean, I know I had a full face on yesterday, but like a daily full face. Oh, I forgot my second coat of mascara. Hang on a second, y'all. Okay, now I'm done. Now we're back in business. So glad I was able to do a face. I really hope you guys enjoyed this conversation, and I really hope you guys took part in the same activity that I did, because I found it really beneficial as a reflection tool. You know, it may not be that we're gonna go ahead and implement all these things right away, or we're gonna consider them every single day, but at least we were able to reflect and then go from there, see what changes we need to make, or see what we're gonna continue, at least from this point on. And I really enjoyed it, and it's not very often that I take something from work or from school and I can find a way to kind of incorporate it in everyday life. So I really enjoyed this activity. And like I said, like, social emotional learning is a hot topic right now, whether you're in the education field or not. And it's like a buzz term right now, because literally for like 4 days straight in the gym on the news, I don't watch the news here, I literally only watch it in the gym. That's what they were talking about, basically, like the effect it's gonna have on the kids going back. Anyway, so I thought it was really cool, a really cool activity, and I really wanted to bring it to you guys today. So comment down below if you found this chit chat, sit and talk, get ready with me type of deal beneficial. And if you did the activity as well, I would love to hear some of your responses to some of the questions and the quadrants. And I will also leave it in the description bar. It's just like so you can kind of see again what is in each of the quadrants, in case you forgot or you want to share this with a friend or a sibling or a loved one or whatever the case may be. Thank you guys so much for sitting and chit-chatting and getting ready with me today, and I really appreciate it so much. Thank you guys so much. If you're not subscribed, make sure you become a subscriber, become a for lifer right now. Should have been yesterday, not tomorrow. It should have been yesterday, but today is never too late. So go ahead and subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.